Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 65 of Hockey on the Spot. No time to waste. 11 games last night. Couple of injury updates. Go over really quick. Alexander Burrows of the Vancouver Canucks will be out for a few weeks. James Neal of the Pittsburgh Penguins is week to week. Gabriel Landeskog of the Colorado Avalanche is day to day, and Jack Hillen of the Washington Capitals will miss 4 to 6 months. So hopefully all those guys can return soon and have a safe recovery. Now let's get into the games. 11 games last night, so a lot to talk about. Starting with the Detroit Red Wings and the Boston Bruins at the TD Bank North Garden. Big win on home ice for the Boston Bruins by a final score of 4-1. Boston's goals started by a power play goal by Torey Krug, his first goal in the regular season, assisted by Milan Lucic and David Krejci. That again, Torey Krug's first career regular season goal. Then Brad Marchand would get up on the board, assisted by Johnny Boychuk. Then Jordan Caron would get up on the board, assisted by Riley Smith and Adam McQuaid. Riley Smith's first point in a Boston Bruins uniform. And then Zdeno Chara would get up on the board on the power play, assisted by Torey Krug, his first regular season assist, and Milan Lucic. So, excellent playing all around. Tuukka Rask would get the start in net, making 25 saves on 26 shots, a .962 save percentage. So he comes up brilliant once again. For the Detroit Red Wings, only Henrik Zetterberg gets up on the board, assisted by Justin Abdelkader and Pavel Datsyuk. Jimmy Howard gets the starting goal, making 33 saves and 37 shots, and .892 save percentage. So a game he wanted to have back. For two original six rivals. Now, officially, every team has played at least one game in the regular season. So, with two original six rivals going at it, it is the former Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Bruins, coming out on top. So, congratulations to them. Next, we have the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Big game that went into a shootout. A big shootout victory by the Toronto Maple Leafs by a final score of 5-4. So, really intense game in Toronto. Toronto goals scored by Mason Raymond, assisted by Dave Bolland and Troy Bodie. Then a power play goal by Nazem Kadri, assisted by Mason Raymond and Joffrey Lupul. Then a power play goal by Joffrey Lupul, assisted by Mason Raymond and Nazem Kadri, Lupul's first of the year. And then in the third period, James Van Riemsdyk would tie up the game, assisted by Phil Kessel and Tyler Bozak. The Ottawa Senators did have a 4-2 lead in the game. And they got to that point with goals from Kyle Turris, assisted by Jared Cowan and Patrick Wierkosh. Then Corey Conacher would get his first of the year, assisted by Kyle Turris and Patrick Wierkosh. Then Jared Cowan would get up on the board, assisted by Kyle Turris and Clark MacArthur. And then Jason Spezza would get his first of the year, assisted by Milan Michalek and Bobby Ryan. For Bobby Ryan, his first point in an Ottawa Senators uniform. In the shootout, the Toronto Maple Leafs go perfect yet again. Both Mason Raymond and Tyler Bozak would be the shooters for the Leafs. They would both score. Milan Michalek and Jason Spezza for the Sens. They would both miss. Jonathan Bernier would actually... Both Toronto goaltenders would split time in net for this game. James Reimer would get the start in goal. And he did not play well. He made only 17 saves on 21 shots, an .810 save percentage. He was pulled. Jonathan Bernier comes in and was absolutely brilliant, going a perfect 15 for 15 for him. A 15 save shutout for Jonathan Bernier, and he gets the win, even though it's not literally a shutout. Craig Anderson gets the full start. For the Ottawa Senators, he plays very well, making 38 saves on 42 shots and .905 save percentage. A game, obviously, he would like to have back. So will the Senators. They'll be looking back at this one. Congrats to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Next, we have the Philadelphia Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. Big win for the Habs on home ice against the Philadelphia Flyers. 4-1 the final score. Montreal goals being scored by the captain, Brian Gianto, with his first of the year, assisted by Rennie Bork and Thomas Plekanec. Then Lars Eller would score, assisted by Brendan Gallagher and Alex Galchenyuk. And then Montreal would get 2 power play goals. The first one by Brendan Gallagher, assisted by Alex Galchenyuk and PK Subban. And then Rennie Bork's first of the year, assisted by Brian Gianto and Lars Eller. Gary Price would get the starting goal and was brilliant. 22 saves and 23 shots, a .957 save percentage. For the Philadelphia Flyers, only one goal for them, and it came on the power play. Vincent Lecavalier getting his first goal in a Philadelphia Flyers uniform, assisted by Braden Shen and Mark Streit. Ray Emery got the start in net for this game, making 30 saves and 34 shots, an .882 save percentage. So, not a great night for Ray Emery, and not a great night for the Philadelphia Flyers. Congrats to the Montreal Canadiens. Next, we have the Columbus Blue Jackets and the New York Islanders. The home opener for the New York Islanders does not go well. Final score 3-2 in a shootout in favor of the Blue Jackets. The Islanders would take a 2-0 lead in the game, but Columbus would come storming back in the third period on goals by Mark Letestu, who would score a power play goal assisted by Cam Atkinson and Brandon Dubinsky. And then Nick Foligno would tie the game, assisted by R.J. Umberger and Nikita Nikitin. For the New York Islanders, their goals scored by Lubomir Visnovsky on the power play, assisted by Franz Nielsen and John Tavares, and then Matt Molson, assisted by John Tavares and Lubomir Visnovsky. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, they would have 2 goal scorers in the shootout. Mark Letestu would get the first one, and then Cam Atkinson would get the shootout winner. For the New York Islanders, they did have a goal scorer in the shootout. That would be Matt Molson, who scored the shootout goal against the New Jersey Devils in their home opener last night. Sergei Bobrovsky, excellent performance for him. 28 saves and 30 shots. A .933 save percentage for the defending Vezina Trophy winner. And for the New York Islanders, Evgeny Nabokov would get the starting goal, making 27 saves and 29 shots. A .931 save percentage. He also was brilliant. Both goaltenders were brilliant, but unfortunately one had to win, and it was the Columbus Blue Jackets, so congrats to them. Next, the Buffalo Sabres and the Pittsburgh Penguins. In Pittsburgh, the Pens going 2-0 to start their year and almost grabbing another shutout, but they did not. They still get the win, though, and a big one. For the Pittsburgh Penguins, their goals scored by Sidney Crosby, assisted by Pascal Dupuis and Matt Niskanen, who, by the way, is rumored to be on the trade block. Matt Niskanen, or at the right price. Then Chuck Kobasu got up on the board, assisted by Brandon Sutter and Matt Niskanen. And then Chris Kunitz in the third period would score his first of the season on a penalty shot, obviously unassisted. And then Craig Adams would earn himself an empty net goal, assisted by Paul Martin. Marc-Andre Fleury was brilliant once again. 20 saves on 21 shots, a .952 save percentage. For the Buffalo Sabres, their only goal coming from Thomas Vanek, his first of the year, assisted by Cody Hodgson. Jonas Enroth would get the starting goal with Matt Hackett as his backup for the night. Ryan Miller would be scratched. The Buffalo Sabres have yet to win a game. Jonas Enroth did not help the cause. 31 saves on 34 shots, a .912 save percentage. So not a great night for him or the Buffalo Sabres. Congrats to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Chicago Blackhawks. The Hawks' first game since the banner-raising home opener. Another one in Chicago. This one going to the Tampa Bay Lightning, unfortunately for them. Final score 3-2 in a shootout. After Chicago took a 2-0 lead, the Tampa Bay Lightning would tie up the game on goals by their new captain, Martin St. Louis, his first of the year, assisted by Steven Stamkos and Matt Carl. And then Teddy Purcell would tie up the game on a power play, assisted by Marty St. Louis and Steven Stamkos. But before that, Patrick Kane would get his second of the year, assisted by Brian Bickle and Nicholas Hjalmarsson. And then Brandon Saad would score a power play goal, assisted by Nick Leddy, and Corey Crawford, the goaltender Corey Crawford, getting an assist, his first of the year. And in the shootout, only one player scored in the shootout. That would be Valtteri Filppula of the Tampa Bay Lightning, their big free agent signing. Victor Hedman, the only other shooter for the Lightning. The Hawks had 3. Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, and Marian Hossa. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, for this game, they would go with Ben Bishop, and he was brilliant. 37 saves on 39 shots, a .949 save percentage. Corey Crawford, he didn't have to face too many shots, and therefore he did not have a great game. 14 saves on 16 shots, and .875 save percentage. So a night to forget for the Hawks, and one that they will look to brush off. But congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Hawks do get a point, though. Next, we have the Florida Panthers and the St. Louis Blues. In St. Louis, a night of nothing but disaster for the Florida Panthers. The St. Louis Blues winning on home ice by a final score of 7-0. So a loss that the Panthers will shake off, hopefully. St. Louis goals being scored by Brendan Morrow on the power play, his first goal in a St. Louis Blues uniform, assisted by Derek Roy and Chris Stewart. Then Vladimir Tarasenko would get his first of the year, assisted by Jaden Schwartz and Alex Pietrangelo. Then Jaden Schwartz would get his first of the year, assisted by Vladimir Sobotka. Then Derek Roy would get his first goal as a St. Louis Blue, assisted by Chris Stewart and Brendan Morrow. Then Alexander Steen would score a goal on a penalty shot, just like Chris Kunitz, obviously unassisted. Then Ryan Reeves would get his first of the year, assisted by Vladimir Sobotka. And then to top it all off, Patrick Berglund would score in the game, assisted by Vladimir Tarasenko and Jaden Schwartz. A game filled with nothing but penalties. 3 guys on the Florida Panthers with 10 penalty minutes. Jesse Winchester, Chris Barch, and Eric Goodbranson. For the Florida Panthers, for the St. Louis Blues, David Backes had 10 minutes in penalties. Chris Stewart would have 12 minutes in penalties, and Ryan Reeves would lead the Blues and the game with 14 minutes in penalties. Yaroslav Halak would get the starting goal, making 19 saves on 19 shots. A 19-save shutout for Yaroslav Halak, as he goes 2-0-0. He didn't have to face much. But as far as the Florida Panthers go, their goaltending not good. Tim Thomas obviously gets the starting goal. He does not play well at all. Not the same Tim Thomas we saw against the Dallas Stars. He only made 23 saves on 28 shots, an .821 save percentage. He gets yanked for Jacob Markstrom. He only has to face 6 shots, but he only makes 4 saves, a .667 save percentage. So not a good night for the Florida Panthers. A major congratulations to the St. Louis Blues on a job well done. Next, we have the Washington Capitals and the Dallas Stars in Dallas. For the Washington Capitals, their first visit to the American Airlines Center and their first visit to Dallas since 2010. Dallas Stars coming up with a huge win by a final score of 2-1. Dallas goals being scored by Eric Cole, assisted by Tyler Seguin, and Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin's first point in a Dallas Stars uniform. And then top prospect Alex Chiasson would score the game-winning goal, assisted by Cody Eakin and Jamie Benn. Kari Lettinen would get the starting goal and was brilliant. 25 saves on 26 shots, a .962 save percentage. For the Washington Capitals, they did take a 1-0 lead in the game. Alex Ovechkin on the power play, assisted by Mike Green and Marcus Johansson. Ovechkin continuing his hot play at the start of the season. Braden Holtby would get the starting goal. He now drops to 0-2-0. 19 saves on 21 shots, a .905 save percentage. Boy, the Washington Capitals got to get their goaltending situation straightened out. Hopefully they can. But Meanwhile, congrats to the Dallas Stars. Next, we have the Anaheim Ducks and the Minnesota Wild. Anaheim looking to shrug off a very disappointing 6-1 loss to the Colorado Avalanche. They do just that, winning in Minnesota by a final score of 4-3 in overtime. I believe, if I'm correct, this might be the first overtime game to end in overtime this year. I could be absolutely wrong, though. Anaheim Ducks goals being scored by Saku Koivu, assisted by Francois Beauchemin and Andrew Cogliano. Then Nick Bonino would convert on the power play, assisted by Corey Perry and Ryan Getzlaf. Then Jakob Silfverberg, who scored late for the Ducks in the game against the Avs, gets his second of the season, assisted by Matthew Perreault, his first point as a Duck, and Dustin Penner, his first point in his second stint with the Ducks. He didn't see much playing time after that assist, however. And then after the Wild pushback, in overtime, with 5 seconds to go in overtime, Matthew Perreault gets his first goal in an Anaheim Ducks sweater, assisted by Francois Beauchemin and Cam Fowler. Jonas Hiller would get the starting goal for this game, and he was solid. 30 saves on 33 shots, a .909 save percentage. So he was very good. For the Minnesota Wild, their goals coming from Zach Parise on the power play, assisted by Mikko Koivu and Ryan Suter. Parise would have a 2-goal night. Then Jason Pominville would convert on the power play, a goal that is considered unassisted, but Mikko Koivu should get an assist on that because he did win the faceoff to get it back to Pominville. And then Zach Parise would get his second of the game at even strength, assisted by Keith Ballard and Jonas Brodin. Keith Ballard's first point in a Minnesota Wild uniform. Nicholas Backstrom got the starting goal. He had a lot more to face this time around than against the Los Angeles Kings. 26 saves on 30 shots and .867 save percentage. Solid numbers, but not good enough to get the win. Congrats to the Anaheim Ducks on a job well done. Next, we have the Edmonton Oilers and the Vancouver Canucks. A huge win by the Vancouver Canucks by a final score of 6-2 on home ice. Vancouver goals being scored. The first Vancouver goal being scored by Brad Richardson, a short-handed goal assisted by Jason Garrison. For Brad Richardson, his first goal as a Vancouver Canuck. Then Dan Hamhuis would score, assisted by Henrik Sedin. Then Jannik Hansen, assisted by Daniel Sedin and Henrik Sedin. Then Daniel Sedin would convert on the power play, assisted by Henrik Sedin and Alexander Edler. Then Ryan Kessler would get his first of the year unassisted. And then Jason Garrison would score an empty net goal, a short-handed empty net goal unassisted. So 2 short-handed goals in the game for the Canucks. Roberto Luongo would get the starting goal, making 21 saves on 23 shots, a .913 save percentage, so he was pretty solid. For the Edmonton Oilers, they took a 1-0 lead in the game. On a goals by Jeff Petrie, assisted by David Perron and Ladislav Schmid. For David Perron, that I believe is his first point in an Edmonton Oilers sweater. And then Boyd Gordon would get his second of the year, assisted by Ales Hemsky. For the Edmonton Oilers, they got the split in goal. Devin Dubnyk played the majority of the game and got the start, but did not play well. 26 saves on 31 shots, an .839 save percentage. Jason LaBarbera would be pulled for Jason LaBarbera. He gets his first action in an Oilers sweater. He goes perfect, 12 for 12, 12 saves on 12 shots, but again, it doesn't erase the fact that John Tortorella gets his first win as Vancouver Canucks head coach. Congratulations to him, and congrats to the Vancouver Canucks. And last but not least, we have the Phoenix Coyotes and the San Jose Sharks. Big win for the San Jose Sharks at the Shark Tank. Final score 4-1 for the second straight game. Starting with 2 goals by Thomas Hertl. His first 2 goals in the National Hockey League. The first even strength assisted by Mark-Edward Vlasic. The second on the power play assisted by Matt Irwin and Brent Burns. Then Patrick Marleau would score on the power play, assisted by Marc-Edouard Vlasic and Joe Pavelski. And then Logan Couture would score an empty netter, assisted by Joe Pavelski. Antti Niemi would get the full start and goal. 22 saves on 23 shots, a .957 save percentage. He was very good. For the Phoenix Coyotes, Oliver Ekman-Larsson would score their only goal, and Zbigniew Michalek would get the only assist. Mike Smith, not as good of a start this time around as it was against the New York Rangers. He did face a lot of shots, however. He actually faced a lot of shots. He did not get the win, but he actually did play really well. 47 saves on 50 shots, a .940 save percentage. 50 shots, whenever you make that many saves on 50 shots, that's always remarkable. So Mike Smith was remarkable, but not remarkable enough to get the win. The team in front of them did not have enough offense. So congrats to the San Jose Sharks, and that'll do it for episode 65 of Hockey on the Spot. This has been Hockey on the Spot with Brandon Barenfeld. I'm Brandon Barenfeld. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Thank you, and have a great day.